paper. Unfortunately, one of the speakers not here yet. Jackson Miyagi is one of the speakers and one of the pioneers as well in this space, because he did a lot as well in the Pacific. He was supposed to talk about the regional cooperation and frameworks for digital governance in the Pacific Islands, so hopefully he will join us later. But I would like to call upon Mele Tavake. He is our PACA-GF 2024 fellow. He's supposed to be the president, the Tonga Women in ICT Selu, should be here, but she's not here due to other commitments. Well, thank you, Mele, for taking up the role. So I would like to call Mele to please make yourself here to the podium and present the Tongan digital inclusion and capacity building. Thank you.
Mahalo Lele, and greetings to you all. My name is Mele Tavake, and I'm currently working for Tonga Women in ICT. And thank you to PASOK for allowing me to be here as a PASOK fellow. I acknowledge also TWIC board members that are here in the room, Dr. Tankina Steen. And I'm happy to present the work Tonga Women in ICT does in Tonga around digital literacy and capacity building, inclusion and capacity building in the Pacific, particularly in Tonga, to ensure that all communities are equipped to participate in the digital economy. Before I start on with my presentation, I would like to give you all a little brief about our Tonga Women in ICT and how it started. Tonga Women in ICT was established in 2018. It was started with a group, 5 women. This little group were 5 women. These 5 women, they came up with an idea. How are they going to help Tonga, especially for women? All of them, they're from different organizations, and they can see how those organizations underestimating women. They said that all the works in this organization, only men can do it. But these women, they came up how are they going to change Tonga, especially for the women? They came up with a little name. They said, maybe we should name ourselves as a TWIC. So TWIC stands for Tonga Women in ICT. The reason why they named the little group as Tonga Women in ICT, because all these women, they came from an IT field. All those churches and stuff, it was taken from their own pocket. There was no budget in this time. Until they all became financially stable and they managed to register Tonga women in ICT in 2021. 2021, there were over members, 30 members. I can say, without these women, I cannot stand in front of you guys here today. And I can say that these women, they are digital warriors. Why? Because they encourage us women to be more mindful. Not only that, but they encourage us to be smart when using space online, especially ICT. Tonga Women in ICT came up with a theme, which is strengthening digital governance and resilience in Tonga, with a focus on these areas. First, digital inclusion, capacity building, and innovations and entrepreneurship. Tonga Women in ICT's missions and visions. Their mission is to empowering women in Tonga through ICT in a range of exciting ways in fully participants in the ICT industry. The vision is for a digitally inclusive resilience Tonga, which means allowing women and girls to enter the industry without fear or discrimination or persecution, always allowing them to improve it. That vision and mission are to accomplish our objectives, which are to promote digital literacy, to build capacity for women in ICT, and to foster innovation and entrepreneurship. SWIG's dedication is to foster digital inclusion and building capacity across various age groups in Tonga. We engage people of all ages through workshops, trainings, and training of the trainer, programs to ensure digital skills and accessible to students, not only the students, but the young students, youth, and also people that are older in the community. Through adopting a multi-stakeholder approach, we aim to enable innovation and entrepreneurship, which are currently limited in Tonga. And through these efforts, we hope to inspire locally driving technical, ICT, and internet solutions that strengthen digital governance and resilience in the Pacific Islands. For the key initiatives on digital inclusion programs, as I mentioned above, one of our key initiatives is engaging all ages through workshop trainings, awareness, and stuff. Secondly is making digital inclusively fun for interactive and enjoyable learning experiences to maintain interest and promote sustainable engagement. Firstly, in digital literacy. Also, Tonga Women in ICT, we do competition, a lot of competition. There was one competition that was on last month, which is an essay competition. The topic for it was bridging divide and empowering youth through digital skills and innovation and digital entrepreneurship. For our capacity building efforts, we do a lot of workshops, as I mentioned above, a lot of trainings. That's what we do to strengthen our capacity building in Tonga. We do a lot of capacity building activities to enhance our digital skills across the community. Through that, we teach in trainings, basic trainings on Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Not only that, but are promoting innovation and entrepreneurship. We conduct a multi-stakeholder approach through collaborating with various stakeholders to create a supportive environment for innovation and entrepreneurship in Tonga. For locally driven solutions, we encourage the development of Tonga technical, ICT, and internet solution, fostering a sense of ownership and capability within the community. These are images from some of the events that we conducted this year. We invited and encourage you all to join us in our mission to empower the Pacific Islands through digital inclusion and capacity building. Our goals and ambitions through our initiatives, tweaked aim to enhance digital literacy and skills across all groups in Tongatapu and also the outer island. Not only that, but the outer island in Tongatapu, which is Vava'o, Hapai, Ewa, and the Tuniwa. We enhance digital literacy and skills across all ages groups in Tonga, foster a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship by providing a space. We also strengthen the resilience of digital governance, working together with other stakeholders. The challenges that we are usually face are funding. We always lack in funding. Skills development. We always wanted to build Tonga women in ICT skills development all the time. And the last, we are short-staffed. There's only 2 full-time staff. Everyone else, they're part-time. So we are short-staffed. And the need for capacity building of our team is also important. And for our future plans, we wanted to expanding our programs to the outer islands, Vava'o, Hapai, Ewa, and the Tuniwas. We wanted to do and enhance our partnership within the Tongatapu and also across the Pacific Island. And continuous support for innovation and resilience. Malo apito.
Thank you very much, Mele, for that fruitful presentation. Any questions for Mele? But we can also ask Mele questions after the next speaker because we run out of time. If you have questions for Mele now, you can ask after Andrew from China. So I'd like to call Nancy, our next speaker, for her presentation, please.
Kia ora, good day. My name is Nancy. I'm from Papua New Guinea. I'm a fellow for the Asia Pacific Regional Internet Governance and also for the Pacific IGF. I currently work with a Department of Information and Communication and Technology in Papua New Guinea. Under the ICT Ministry, we have the regulator and policy. So I come under the policy before I came up here, I was just talking to my fellow from PNG, Russell, that, usually in PNG, after every workshop or forum that we held, after the lunchtime, the food usually kills the people, so it's the boring part of the session. So I hope I don't make it boring. I know I have a lot of slides, but they're just bullet points. So. Yes. So my presentation is going to be about data governance, and that's data governance report from public sector in Papua New Guinea. So currently we don't have any act, or we also don't have any data governance national policy. Okay, the purpose of the assessment report was to evaluate the current data governance practices across the all of government, that's all of government approach, to identify strength, weakness, and provide accountable recommendations to enhance best practices of data management, ensure data quality, and comply with regular requirements. So this assessment aims to support strategic decision-making, improve data integrity, and foster a culture of effective data stewardship across all of government. Because in PNG, currently we don't have any national act to protect our data or even govern our data. And also, we don't have any national policy in place. So currently, the department that I worked with, we have just got our first data governance and data protection policy that was approved, and we're in the stage of drafting instructions for a act. The overview of the data governance framework from in the public sector that we're driving is, so the department coordinate from a national level. And so what is data governance, and what is data governance looks like in any organization or any person's point of view? Obviously, a program that focus on privacy, compliance, security, and how it looks different from one that may exist to support data warehouse and business intelligence, and a program concentrating on architecture or integration may involve different participants. Then that one whose goals involve data quality. Whatever you focus your effort on, I think we need to define for our participant exactly what we at our national level in PNG mean by data governance. So we decided to choose our words carefully and must resonate back to PNG culture and environment if this is to be accepted, knowing very well that data governance is a new concept in the public sector and a new agenda also. Although the practice has been around, but not much has been researched and talked about data governance. So it means different things to different people or organizations inside the public sector back in Papua New Guinea. So from our hand, we think that it is important to present a definition that implies to what we are trying to accomplish. So basically we said data governance is defined through our structure at the national level within PNG and also to what we want to achieve across the public sector or all of government approach. So it's a set of principles, policies, process aimed at ensuring data is managed effectively, securely, and responsibly throughout its life cycle. So one of the efforts that the department did was we've been holding workshops throughout the year. The data governance division that I worked with, I worked as an assistant data governance manager, and my role is to lead data governance all across government, private government sector. So we have all held a couple of workshops throughout the 4 years, but most of the workshop, it was more about us telling the public sector what we want them to do and what we are doing. And we didn't listen about what they wanted to do and see how they're managing their data. So we had a workshop, a national workshop on the 4th and 5th of June in Port Moresby. That's the total number of participants. Because it's a government workshop, we have about 55 total agencies, all government departments, and national agencies with about 101 participants. During the workshop, we tried to assess by giving the stakeholders chances to speak, so we get to define and understand what they do in regard to data governance within their own department. The key components of data governance assessment during the workshop that we came to see was we've categorized it under 3 categories. The first one is institutional framework, and then oversight and accountability, legal and regulatory framework. The assessment overview of the report that came out from that, we also have a online survey, but the survey with the workshop, we did a national data governance baseline report that is currently still in drafting. So I'm only presenting for the workshop that we did. The assessment objective of the report was to promote responsible data management across public sector, enhance stakeholder collaboration, understand the current data governance landscape across the public sector. The methodology of the assessment was actually the workshop, because that was the only place, like a platform, that we could understand what other public sectors were doing in regard to data governance across all of government approach. So that's the key findings. So it was very interesting during, while we were watching, just sitting at the back and seeing all the government departments doing their presentations on how they manage their data. %30 of the agencies have some form of data governance practices. That includes data collection methods, storage, infrastructure, data sharing, cost and optimization, data accessibility and availability. Under oversight and accountability, 50% of the stakeholders or the agencies have data protection measures included. That includes access control, which is the main form, regular security assessment, and 20% is compliance. So you can see that other 80% are unsure of regulatory requirement or national standards and best practices. We also have data retention and archiving. So most agencies, probably 90% of agencies, formal guidelines. Under the legal and regulatory framework, 60% use data security measures. Backup and disaster recovery was very little. We couldn't even hear a lot of them say anything about backup and disaster recovery. Data sharing, absence of data sharing guidelines and policies was mentioned, nothing. So we have found out that you can see that most of the things was just technical, nothing much about data governance. So this is the maturity model that we have to measure across. We're still developing it, and it's taking cue from the Kenya data governance module. It's tailored for the public sector in PNG, not the private, only public sector. It should be simple and adaptable to read, adaptable to the current environment. It's quite, the level stops at 5, but I'm just putting this as an example. Still in progress for contextualizing, and we need to include our national pillars like the institutional framework, oversight and accountability, technical and regulatory framework, and have some index to measure it. The maturity model is also taking insight from the PNG Digital Government Act 2022, Digital Government Plan 2023 to 2027, the Medium-Term Development Plan, and the National Data Governance and Data Protection Policy, which was just approved. So these are the recommendations that we have come up with from the workshop that was held, still under the 3 categories of institutional framework, oversight, accountability, and legal and regulatory framework. So under the institutional framework, we have standards and framework. These are the recommendations from us, Department of ICT, to all the stakeholders that have participated and presented. We've seen that these are the things that are missing within their data governance practices. So that's standards and framework, develop and implement data governance and protection policy within their own sectors. Under oversight and accountability, increase the frequency of data governance review and audit. Training and support is also one of the bigger things that we've laid. Develop data protection legislation. Most departments doesn't have any internal policies in regard to data governance or any legislation like the country, we don't have any yet. Enhance data protection measures, enhance compliance with regulatory requirement. The next step from after the workshop, after measuring all the doing the assessment, we have, from the department, we have decided the next step was to establish a data governance working group, coordinate and implement at the national level. Thank you. I also have something to say. So, lastly, from a Asia Pacific IGF fellow and a Pacific IGF fellow, not from my employer as a government employee. In IGF, we promote multi-stakeholderism. I think in my country, we need more awareness on IGF for private sectors and civil society to know the importance of this in the government policy, because my department does the national policies for every ICT. And we have seen lack of private sector business organizations coming in to take part for the policy. And when the policy is abolished and becomes policy or even the act, they get left out. And that's one of the biggest things. And then they are not included in, and that's where so many problems come up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nancy, for that sharing of insights about data governance. And it's very important these times with internet governance that sometimes we focus so much on the technical side, but when it comes to the layer 7 with the applications and data transferring, data sharing, that's where the main problem comes in. So, but it's good to see that PNG started their assessment data governance. I think some countries in the Pacific, they did that as well. But it's good that you consider the private sector, because with this forum, we promote the multi-stakeholderism. That was my question I'm going to ask, what about the private sector? But it's good that you addressed it before you finish. So the next speaker, it's Andrew. Andrew is from China, and he is leading the China IGF. We give him the opportunity now because we don't have another speaker is not here. After him, then we can open the floor to some questions. I have some questions for Mele as well. Please populate your questions for this session. We have so much time. So this is why we're here, so we can share our insights, you know, your strengths and other people's weaknesses. Maybe that can match and solve the problem. So please, don't be shy. Over to Andrew.
Where is the controller? All right, let me try this a little bit to see if it works. All right. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. First of all, self-introduction. My name is, my Chinese name is Guo Feng. Andrew is my English name given by my, by my middle school teacher, but I haven't used it very much. All of you can call me Feng, F-E-N-G. So I'm from the China IGF. But the work of China IGF is my part-time job. My primary position is from the China Academy of ICT, which is a research branch under the government, the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology of China. So I'm also serve as the China's advisory representative of Governmental Advisory Committee in the ICANN. So I'm currently the participating ICANN meetings regularly. So I'm glad to be here to attend this Pacific IGF. It's a very good opportunity for me to interact with you and to learn from you, and find the community of Pacific IGF is is full of energy, full of motivation, and with solidarity. So I think I can take this opportunity to most of important is to learn from you and share with you some activities and experience of the China IGF. So I'll give you the presentation of the overview of China IGF. So first of all, who we are. So we are the China IGF. So many of you may know that the UN IGF, they encouraged the regional and national IGF to be established within a country, within a territory, or within a region. So we are IGF. We are a bottom-up and open platform for exchanges and consultations on the internet governance related issues. And our mission is to promote the Chinese internet community's engagement into the global internet governance process. And we have a secretariat. The secretariat is taken by the Internet Society of China. The Internet Society of China is like a carrier for the China IGF. So we established the China IGF in 2020 in May. I'm one of the co-founder of the China IGF, and we have Ms. Pei Wei. You can see, as you can see in this slide, she's another co-founder of the China IGF, and Mr. Zhong Rui I will show you in the following slide. So what are we doing? Our tasks are, first of all, to promote multi-stakeholder-based participation and collaboration on internet governance issues and on internet policy side. And we also conduct international exchanges and cooperation. We participate to the global internet governance processes, mainly to the UN and the process here, the Pacific IGF, which is a great one among all the local and regional IGFs. And number three, we focus on local priority internet governance issues. Like domestically, we are facing a lot of regulation issue and coordination issue with regard to the internet governance. And we also deliver our voices and deliver the voices of Chinese community to the global internet community. We participate in the UN IGF and its processes. So the leadership of the China IGF. Now we have a committee. We have a committee, China IGF committee, and also we have a China IGF MAG, which is a China IGF multi-stakeholder advisory group, which is very similar to the UN IGF's MAG. So Mr. Gao Xinmin, who is the chair of China IGF MAG, and Mr. Huang Chengqing, who is the former president of the CINCERT, who is now the chair of the IGF committee, and who is now also a vice president of Internet Society of China. And Ms. Zhang Xiao, she is from CNIC. She is the Deputy Director General of CNIC and also serves as the Vice Chair of the China IGF. And she is currently a member of the UN IGF MAG. So next is me and Zhong Rui. Mr. Zhong Rui is the Secretary General of the China IGF Secretariat. And mainly he lead a team, also including me, to coordinate daily issues of the China IGF. And me personally, I do some support work to the previous leaders and also Mr. Zhong Rui. But my main work, daily work, is at the China ICT, China Academy of ICT. And I'll give you some highlights of China IGF. And we organize a lot of workshops related to internet governance issues. whether it is in Beijing or other part of China. And perhaps we organize workshops in a big internet conference or a local internet conference within China. And workshop themes, I believe, is including child online protection and digital inclusion, data governance, and information accessibility. And we also organize workshops within the UNIGF during the UNIGF meetings week. And we also contribute a lot to the international fora like UNIGF and other related internet meetings. We have, as I told you, that we have a multi-stakeholder advisory group, which includes experts from different sectors, like from university and from the industry, and also from some think tank. And those experts are about 35 persons. They also participate a lot of international and domestic meetings, and they represent China IGF to speak, to contribute. And also we conduct as many as we can to outreach to people, to have engagement to the community, different community. Like we organize some event in UNIGF and also perhaps in the WIC in China, World Internet Conference in China. And also we have a yearly based internet conference of China and other local industry, internet industry conference. We may acquire a booth to show to the audience and participants what is all about, what is about the China IGF. This slide shows you how we participate in UNIGF related events. We participated the IGF national and regional IGF meetings. We join the talks and to share our activities to other participants. And also we have Ms. Zhang Xiao, who is currently the member of IGF, UNIGF MAG. And we previously, actually, we have several others people from government or from industry or from academic society. Previously, they were the members of the UNIGF MAG. So they joined the conversation, join the consultation of the MAG a lot to set up the agenda of the annual UNIGF, and also the logistics of how to organize the UNIGF workshops, the rules, the procedures for all of the multi-stakeholder to apply for the opportunity of organizing workshops in UNIGF. And also we join the meetings of IGF national and regional IGF initiatives, and we speak. As you can see, Mr. Zhong Rui is speaking here. And also in this year is quite a hot process and quite important process that is the GDC, Global Digital Compact, which is proposed by the UN Secretary General, I believe, or UN, United Nations. It's about an initiative about how to govern the internet governance or digital governance. So last year and this year we talked about this process and the issues related to the papers and the GDC a lot, and we also share our different views among the members of the China IGF, and we produce our input to the Global Digital Compact, which is, I think, is effort from the China IGF to the GDC process. And we are continuing this effort. This year, maybe I think perhaps this GDC will be held this year, perhaps this year, August. And also we try to produce some input to the IGF P9. I say P9, which is a policy network on the artificial intelligence P9. We have a leading expert who is the associate professor from the China Normal University, Ms. Qian Yiqin, who is leading this effort. And actually, he is one of the leading persons in this in this effort. And also, I think artificial intelligence is very important to attract all of the attentions from industry and also academic world, and also from the government perspective. So we, you know, we have now we have a lot of internet artificial intelligence startups and big companies operating AI services in China, and we also want to contribute to the global internet artificial